Alright, welcome back to World History. I want to introduce the unit that we'll be studying first. We're going to be studying patterns of population growth among humans. So we're going to look at how humans went from a very small group to cities, states, countries, even overpopulation in some parts of the world today. So what are we going to start with? We're going to start with early hominids. We're going to talk about the first humans and some of their predecessors, some things that were similar to humans that came beforehand. What are we going to study next? Next, we're going to be studying hunters and gatherers and how they transitioned to become farmers. So while we study early hominids, the first thing we're going to be talking about is our key vocabulary. We're going to introduce the key vocabulary, and you're going to have a chance to work with it and make sure you understand these key terms before we move on to some of the other content. We're going to talk about the first hominid groups. Now, within these different hominid groups, we're going to talk about three different things. The first thing we're going to talk about with these hominid groups will be when and where they arose. So when and where they began. Next up, we're going to talk about their adaptations. Now, each of these different hominid groups, although none are still around other than modern-day Homo sapiens sapiens ourselves, they each had adaptations that helped them survive. So we're going to talk about those adaptations and how they helped them survive. Let's see if I can make this more visible. There we go. And the final thing that we're going to be talking about, as far as the hominid groups, will be their special capabilities. Now, I'll talk about this again with the vocabulary, but capabilities are like special talents or special skills that help these different groups survive. Alright, so this is a basic outline of what we will be studying the next few weeks in world history. This is the early hominids. This is the very beginning of the patterns of population growth. And next we'll be going on to hunters and gatherers and how they transition to farming. But first, let's focus on the hominid groups and the key vocabulary. Thank you. Take care.